Tommy is one of the greatest players I've ever had the honor of coaching, but he's really one of the greatest people I've ever had the honor of meeting. Extremely proud to call you a friend, extremely proud for the time we spent together, extremely grateful for it. And I'm really looking forward to hitting the court soon for the next battles that we got, because the season's not done yet and Tommy's not done yet.
See if I can get through this, but thank you everyone for coming out today. After 16 years at the BNZ Breakers, I'll be retiring from all professional basketball at the end of the season. Basketball's been a massive part of my life for as long as I can remember, providing me countless joys and experiences, and all good things must come to an end. I'm very at peace with this decision. I've been so lucky to spend my entire career playing for the Breakers, my hometown team, in front of my friends and family. The sport's taken me around the globe, but in doing so has only reinforced that it's here, in this place, with this team, where I've truly been able to find myself. There's countless people to thank. I want to start by thanking the club for giving me the platform to live out my dreams and play the sport I love for a living. Matt Walsh and the ownership group, Lisa, Simon, thank you for putting your faith in me to lead this team. It's been a privilege to carry on the legacy of those who have come before me and add my own chapter to our history. I've been fortunate enough to play through many different eras at the club, and I want to give special thanks as well to Paul, Liz and the Blackwell family for giving me my start and all the wonderful years playing under your leadership as well. To my coaches, Andre Lamanis, Dean Vickerman, Paul Hanade, Kevin Braswell, Dan Shamir, and Modi. Thank you for helping me grow as a player and a person. Each of you taught me very different yet valuable lessons. I'm truly grateful for your time and efforts, and feel very honoured to call each of you good friends as well. To the rest of the support staff, managers, physios, trainers, everyone that's helped me along my journey, thank you as well. To my teammates, past, present, the connections and friends that I've made in the locker room will last a lifetime. The camaraderie, banter and energy of the locker room I'll perhaps miss the most. To the fans, thank you for your support and encouragement over many years. It's been an absolute pleasure to play in front of you. Feel your energy spur me on. The roar I hear as I hear my name called out coming out the tunnel, it's not something I've ever taken for granted. Finally, I want to thank my family. My basketball journey started young. Seed planted by my amazing mum who coached me as a youngster. Mum, Dad, Hayden, Nicola, thank you for being the most amazing and supportive family. To my children, Pilot, Porter and Pacer, thank you for letting your dad live out his dreams. It's time for me to be there for you now. I've known for a while. I think going into this season, I knew it would be my last one. I've tried to not think about it as much as possible. Probably halfway through the season was when I really made that decision in my head and talked to my family about it. And it's been a tough one, knowing that it will be the last one. But as I said, I've tried to remove it from my thoughts as much as I can. And it's snuck up on me, and once you sit here and start talking about it, becomes a bit more real and emotional and everything that comes along with that. But yeah.
Obviously an emotional time. Is that because, let's face it, you're a home boy, this club has meant everything to you and it's like a family here?
Yeah, look, as I said, this 16 years playing for this club now. It's been a massive part of my life. All sorts of life events and things have happened while I've been here, and I've grown up here. I've seen so many people come and go through, and kids who got their photo with me when they were 5 years old at my first Breakers game, now coming up when they're 20 and having a chat to me after the game and reminiscing on some of those good times. So it's emotional for a number of reasons. Obviously, as I said, putting a definite end on things and making that a bit more real. But you know, all those thoughts and feelings and things that have come along with being here, and the people that I've been able to share those times with have all played such special parts of my life. It all comes rushing back to you, I guess.
Obviously you've played with so many different players. I know when you celebrated your 400th game, you made note of Mika. How special has he been to you over the years?
Yeah, Mika was a great friend, still is a great friend, but a great captain for me and mentor when I was younger. Just an awesome role model, but you know, he taught me a lot about you know, leadership and what it meant to play for something and play with heart and mana and all those sorts of things. But I've been so blessed to play with so many wonderful players over my career. I remember when I first came into the Breakers, and you know, I came into this building and first practice, I'm practicing with my heroes. You know, I was practicing with Kirk, Penny and Phil Jones and Paul Hanade, Dylan Boucher. These are guys I grew up watching, and all of a sudden they became teammates and then friends. You know, to get the chance to play with them, and you know, all the teammates that have come throughout the years is truly such a big part of what makes sport amazing, is the people and those teammates that you spend so much time with. You know, we're in each other's faces all the time, and it's a family. Every year, you know, new members of the family arrive and different people leave. But those bonds that you build up over time with guys like Mika and everyone else, as I said, those last far beyond today.
How important has it been to you through your career to play hard with fear, to work hard and show a lot of class on how important is that side of the game?
Yeah, look, I've always prided myself on being a professional and doing things the right way. I try to set a good example for my peers and anyone watching me. I've always tried to be humble and carry myself in a way that is inspirational to others, and I know that we're role models in the community. There's kids that look up to us. Every interaction with a kid after the game can mean the world to them. So it's probably one of the things I'm most proud of, is how I've been able to interact and impact my community, and hopefully have a positive effect and impression on those that I've been able to meet along the way.
As you mentioned, you've been with the club for so many different years. From your perspective, how has the evolution been?
Yeah, look, the club has changed a lot, I guess, with the sport over the years. I remember coming into the Breakers, and you know, we'd never won a championship or anything like that. We played at the North Shore Event Centre in front of a couple of thousand people, coming off the back of what the Tall Blacks had done at the 2002 World Champs. Basketball was starting to build in this country, and the North Shore was kind of the hub of that, and the Breakers and our success came along at the right time, and we were able to capture the hearts of a lot of people. Those championship runs that we went on were, incredible, and as we had success, the momentum and excitement for basketball built as well, and so did the club. We've become bigger and bigger, to selling out games at Spark Arena and playing in front of 9,500 people. We've come a long way, and it's been wonderful to play a small part in that journey.
What has been your toughest season, and how did the club help you through it?
Toughest season, no doubt, was the time we spent on the road during COVID. It feels like a bad dream now. It was, long enough ago, and it feels like we don't talk about COVID at all anymore, which is a good thing. But those were 2 very, very tough years, very, very tough. But certainly one of my favourite moments was being able to come back after that. We talk a lot about adversity in sports and what it does for us and the lessons it teaches us, and be able to go through what we went through as a club and come out the other side, and to run on the court again after going through all that back at Spark Arena in front of our home fans. That was one of my proudest moments, to sort of make it out the other side. And you don't take things for granted after going through something like that, and the support and love that we got from our fans upon coming home was really special.
Did that suck some life out of you, or a bit of soul out of you, that time was spent?
Absolutely, yeah. No, there's many times that I wanted to call it quits over there and come home, but it's not me. I couldn't leave my team in its moment of need, and I wanted to see us through that period, and obviously was able to do that, and to be part of the resurgence last year, and the enjoyment that we all got out of that, out of being home again, to kind of fulfill that little part of the journey and that cycle was really rewarding.
This club's not only been a massive part of your life, but obviously your family and kids' life. What does it mean to you?
Yeah, it has. I'm happy that I was able to play to a stage and to an age where my kids could watch me play and understand what I did and why I did it. My oldest son's been counting down the games for the last few weeks. Every time I get back, he's asking me, how many games have I got left, Daddy? And they're excited to spend some more time with me. I'm not retiring because I want to spend more time with my kids, but I'm very excited to do so. I've missed out on summer holidays for 16 years, basically. I've still yet to attend any of my friends' weddings. Everyone seems to want to get married in the summertime for some reason. It's not a good time for me. But I'm excited to do little things like that. Those are special times you only get once or twice, and my kids are starting to get a little bit older now, but they know what Dad's done now, and always my biggest supporters. So I'm really, really pleased and proud that I've been able to set a good example for them.
He informed me before last season that last season was going to be his last, and really happy it wasn't. It's just kind of something we've been talking about, just as friends talk about things, and I think the official decision was made a few months ago, and we kind of had a little chat, and in a very Tom way, he just went about his business being the best pro, the best leader, the best player he could be, finding a way to help us in any way possible. Never felt it affect anything he did. And yeah, that's basically it.
You've been with the club for a few years now. Is there one moment that you remember from
countless ones. The on-court one is the play that you guys just saw on the screen when he stole that ball from Bryce at the end of the game. It's not so much for me about the steal. I mean, he's done a bunch of amazing defensive plays during his career. It's about the mental fortitude, to be in the moment in a game that meant so much to all of us after a mistake, to just stay focused, stay on task, do your job to the best of your ability, and let the chips fall where they fall. And that was a very impressive one. The memories I'll take for Tom are the things that I remember more are the things that happen here on this court, and how he competes in a practice and sets the tone for everyone, or how he chooses when to speak and how to speak, and the legacy that he lives for us as the people that need to continue it after him is more in these walls than in Spark.
Tom, why was it important for you to make this announcement today rather than waiting for this?
Good question. I think in a lot of ways, I don't like the attention. I'm not one for the spotlight, but there's so many people that have been part of my journey. It's more than just about me, and it would feel wrong not to have the chance to acknowledge that, and give all those people that I thanked, and what will be many more, and many that I've probably forgotten, their proper thanks over the coming weeks too, because this journey's been so much more than just about me and what I've done. There's so many other people who have helped me get here, who've been part of it along the way, and they deserve as much thanks as I do, so that's probably why.
Modi, Tom mentioned before about being stuck in Australia and very, very close to coming home. How much does that sum him up as a team man, the fact that he stayed put?
Not stayed put. Staying put is kind of surviving that time. He led from the front. Probably left the most in New Zealand going across, and you could never tell. Not in a game, not in a practice. He was setting an example for all of us about how a professional athlete goes about his business and overcomes adversity, and did it with a true sense of responsibility for what the club means to all the people that were in New Zealand. It was inspiring, and I think it set the tone for everybody who was there to keep doing things the right way, regardless of how tough it got.
Sure, Tom. I had a good chat with one of your former teammates this morning, Ray Cameron, who was part of their 2009 Waikato Pistons championship, when you also won Rookie of the Year under Coach Wickerman. We were just talking about your career, and he just had nothing but good things to say about you as a person on the court. But he said his favourite thing about your game in terms of skill set was your defence and defensive IQ. For you, I know you're an extremely humble man, but how would you like to be remembered as a player in terms of your skill set?
Nice to hear that from Ray. Those were good times. I think I'd like to be remembered as a selfless player who did whatever it took to help his team win. I think that's been a hallmark of my career, is being able to not box myself into playing a certain way. I've adjusted to playing for many different coaches and tried to play a role, whatever was called upon me at the time. But certainly defence first has always been a point of pride for me. I've loved playing that end and being able to use my abilities and athletic gifts to impact the court at that end. It's always, I've always just concentrated on controlling what I can control on a basketball court, and for me defence has always been the easy thing. It requires effort and intensity and attention to detail, You know, it doesn't matter if you make or miss a shot. You can always play hard at that end of the floor and contribute to a game no matter what else is going on. So that's always been the base for me. You know, I've had some fun at the other end too. You know, probably a little bit more up and down and athletically gifted earlier on in my career, and had some fun catching some oops from Cedric Jackson and some of those guys. Those are great highlights and great memories, but yeah, for sure the defensive end is where I hang my hat.
And speaking of fun on the other end, would you say that your dunk on Jaren Jackson Jr. in 2019 against the Grizzlies, so your best dunk of all time in your career, especially considering you won Defensive Player of the Year last year?
Yeah, yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, I've always been a two-handed dunker too. I don't know. I still don't know where that one came from. Something inspired me to just use the one hand that time, and that was a really cool one to get that poster, and the fact that he's gone on to do such great things just sort of makes it get better with time, which is really cool.
And just last one for me, Ray said that you're also a bit of a gun golfer. Is that something that you're going to be doing more of as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to spending a bit more time on the golf course and channeling my competitive instincts in that direction after this.
How gratifying is it to see basketball booming? You know, when you leave school, it was popular, but in the last 15, 20 years, it's got to a stage now where there's not enough courts, especially on the shore. What does that mean to you? How gratifying?
Probably just to relax and enjoy things a little bit more. It's tough professional sport. You get caught up in the competitiveness and the grind of it a little bit sometimes, and it's hard to just step back and appreciate the opportunity that you have and the enjoyment that you have from playing a sport that you love. Like, I've loved basketball since I was a little kid, and to be able to play it for a living is something I don't take for granted. So certainly I would tell myself to just make sure that I am enjoying it, to smile and make sure that fun is always front and centre of my mind, because you know, plenty of ups and downs and adversity as we've spoken about through a professional basketballer's career, but at the end of it all, man, what I've been able to do is the stuff that kids dream of. You know, playing basketball for a living for 16 years for my hometown team, like it's nuts, and I get goosebumps when I think about that. You know, we've got guys in our team who are from the other side of the world. You know, basketball can take you many places, and often it does drag you in all sorts of different directions. There's not many that get to do it or get to choose where they do it, and let alone that be at home. So I'm very lucky.
Tom Abercrombie as well. Just wondering how much of a factor was standing there on the court after Game 5 and seeing the Kings raise that trophy, coming back and rolling it back to Modi.
Yeah, it definitely took away any chance of a spur-of-the-moment decision there. It was the competitor in me was never going to accept that at that time. But to be honest, you know, it wasn't really a thought last year. I was just so focused on what we were doing and enjoying myself and having fun that I didn't think about it, and still felt like I could contribute and had more to give. And that's why, you know, I wanted to come back.
And Friday night is super important. You probably feel like, as you said earlier, this could have been an email, but this is also about making the playoffs again and getting into the playoffs and making a real run of it. How important is Friday night for the club, for people to come out and not only support you in the decision, but also make it loud, make it raucous, like it was last Friday night, and bringing that value of the fandom into the big reports?
Yeah, no, Friday night is absolutely massive for us. Started to feel it last week in that Illawarra game, just the energy shift at Spark as we get closer to playoff time, and there is a special energy in that place when there's a little bit more on the line and a little bit more meaning, and yeah, I hope hope it's packed in there on Friday night, because we need everyone to get us over the line. It's the biggest game of our season. There's no doubt about that, and we need as much support as we can to get us over the line. And there's no better place I've played than Spark Arena, with a little bit something extra hanging in there. You know, as I said, that energy in that place just goes up another notch, and it's a really fun place to play as a player when you've got something to play for. So hopefully we get a full crowd on Friday.
And can I get a one-on-one after this?
For you, mate, sure.
Are you taking that poster home with you when you retire?
Oh, geez.
You just need to look in the mirror. It's the
You're
same.
looking in pretty good nick for 36.
I think Simon wants that.
When Larry Bird retired, no one would have predicted he would have gone on to coach the Indiana Pacers quite well, and then he became Executive of the Year for the NBA a couple of years ago as well. When you did your Masters, have you got a plan what you want to do with that Masters, and could you see a path similar to Bird and be a coach and then an executive in basketball?
I can see a lot of different paths at the moment, and I'm trying not to tunnel myself into anything at the moment. I'll finish off my Masters in Business Administration this first semester, which will be great to have in the back pocket, but I've always tried to have a thought to after basketball as I've played along, and knowing that this time would come eventually, and wanted to prepare myself as best as possible. So I'm going to take time to finish that off and spend some quality time with my kids. And yeah, you know, it's a scary time in some respects, but it's also exciting too. You know, I'm excited for new challenges and new adventures and whatever that is. So look, we'll see what happens.
All right, thanks.